the end of March now, and tonight the clocks go back an hour, so I might actually last more than 5 minutes in bed if I time it right.
It's forward and he never lasts more than 5 minutes.
It's getting lighter in the evenings and you're probably coming out into your garden and having a look round, and like I say, it's been a proper harsh winter, and for me, one thing I have noticed has took a real hit this year has been the grass. So if, like me, you've come out and looked at your grass, you might have a lot of moss in it. So that might mean you want to give your lawn a good old scarify. So I've been out today scarifying our lawn, and I thought it would be a really good time to do a video on putting thatch into your hotbin, because when you scarify the lawn, you're basically picking up all the dead, leaves, bits and pieces that are in between the grass, dead bits of grass, and also moss, and you accumulate quite a lot of stuff. And even if you're just using a general rake like this, you'll get a lot of stuff up. So as it's that time of the year, I thought it would be a good video to show you how I manage my thatch and lawn trimmings in the hotbin. About 3 weeks ago, I was fortunate enough to get some turf where they were laying a new lawn, and I just got some off-cut bits and I implanted those bits into the grass that we've got here where I had the most damage of moss. So it's taken really well. I think you can sort of see the difference there maybe. But what I will say is, if you do that, or if you are repairing your lawn and you have got a hotbin, where I've sort of scraped up some of the old grass and replaced it with the new stuff, don't go putting this into your hotbin like this, otherwise you will just block up the airflow and it will not work at all. So if you are taking the bits like that off your lawn, then you're going to need to dry it out and get all of that soil off the stuff before you put it into your hotbin. Don't just go putting it straight in like this, it'll just block up the airflow. For any of you that watch the channel, you'll know that our garden isn't massive, and especially the lawn, it's just really the back one that I take a lot of pride in. The side is the council, and the front one, we kind of have a wild meadow going on there, so that doesn't go into the hotbin. But even just this small area at the back, I've just literally raked that up this morning, and I've got tons of what I would class as the thatch. So we've got old grass, and if I go a bit deeper, you'll start to see moss as well. So you'll probably find with your moss and that when you scrape it up, you'll get quite a little, quite a bit of muddy soil in there as well. So if you're not careful and you go and put all that into your hotbin in one go, you're going to end up causing an air blockage, and then your hotbin will just go cold. So this is why I thought it'd be a good idea to do this video, just to show you how I manage our thatch. And this is only one thing you're probably going to do once or twice a year at the most. We're nearing the end of March now, but it kind of feels almost like it's been April showers in March. We've had nice sunshine sometimes, but we have had some real heavy showers, and last night and yesterday during the day we had some real proper downpours, and I really thought I'd be coming out and looking into the hotbin and finding that it had gone cold, but to my surprise the large one is doing really well. And for any of you eagle-eyed viewers out there, you're probably wondering, where is the mini? Well, Prince Charles actually contacted me, and it's residing in Buckingham Palace. Well, only kidding. It's actually residing at my mum's place in a polytunnel. We're doing an experiment on that, so if you are keen to see what happens with that experiment, don't forget, hit the notification button. Don't forget, if you haven't, subscribe, and please leave comments anyway, because it's great for people to read comments and get ideas from this channel. Have a look at what's going on with the large one at the moment. we have been doing really well for some time now. There was like probably 1 week, 1.5 weeks where I had it at around 40 degrees and I had to take some out, and it took a little while for me to get it back hot composting again, but we are doing really well, so have a look. So the top is looking good. That's not always something I go by, but the hot bin is quite full at the moment, so that's probably why this is so, you know, the dial's quite high there. Inside, I've just thrown those in literally this morning when I went round the garden, but I know the dial's not very clean. I'll probably get a bollocking for that later, but you know, we've been up to 60, and you know, I think it probably will need an empty soon, but we're, you know, still probably between the 50 degrees mark or maybe a little bit more. I'll give it a quick stir up and show you what's going on. So lots of steam in there, and it's not what I call mega wet. I know some people on the channel do say to me that it should be wetter than it is, but I think, you know, that saying, if it isn't broke, don't try to fix it, and it seems to work well for me, so that's what I keep it at. But yeah, not doing too badly considering like we've had some pretty bad rainfall and it's not been the warmest, but it is starting to warm up outside now. You know, we're probably about 12 degrees outside today. So as you can see, Hotbin is doing really well, and personally, if I'm going to add thatch into the Hotbin, I like to make sure it is hot composting first, just because I think it breaks it down quicker and you get less problems. The weather hasn't been the hottest, and as I say, we've had a lot of rain here, so really pleased with how the Hotbin's been doing at the moment. And in between those rain sort of showers, I've been collecting the leachate, and I'll show you just how much I've got so far, which I'm going to use as a feed for the lawn and plants over the sort of coming spring, summer. So when I do get to come out and there's been no rain, I tend to just take the tray and collect it in washed out milk bottles. They're all lined up here. I don't particularly do anything with them, they just stay outside. But one thing I will say is the leachate I collect is always nice and dark and clear. If it was milky, I wouldn't be putting it into there. And if it's rained and the trays fill up with rain plus leachate, I tend to just throw that over the garden. I don't collect that, so I try to just make sure I'm collecting neat leachate for this. And like I say, I'll use this all up over the spring, summertime. I've got quite a bit here. I'm hoping to do some experiments with maybe half the lawn this year, so yeah, hopefully we can get that as a video this year to see if the leachate does really live up to its reputation. As it goes, funny things that I found in the Hotbin. Well, while I was giving that a good stir up a few weeks ago, I don't know if Mr. T from the A-team had been here, but I found a load of gold chain in there, and well, I did think to myself, I can give that a little bit of a clean up. That's the missus' birthday present sorted, guys. So it's the first cut of the grass of the year, and as you can see, our lawn's not that great, but I've already got 2 big buckets full of just normal grass, plus I've got nearly 2 buckets the time I've finished the lawn of thatch. So quite a lot of stuff to go into the Hotbin. And if you're new to hot composting and you've not put grass into your Hotbin before, one thing about it is it does make the temperature go up, but you do need to manage it well. So if you're not sure what to do, fortunately we've got a video on grass in the Hotbin. We'll leave a link at the end of this video so you can see how to manage that easily yourself. The shredder that we got has really paid off already. Mrs. B cut down a lot of the rambling rows behind us, and within, you know, minutes we had it all crushed up and it's just so much better for us. So really good investment there, and everyone who said I should get one, well, that was a lot of time lost and a lot of pain in my hands from not getting one, so well happy about having that now. The reason I'm showing this is because when it comes to putting thatch into your Hotbin, you want to make sure you've got a lot of bulking agent. So stuff like this, or if you're new to composting, as in hot composting, and you've got the bag of wood chips and you're using that, just use maybe a little bit more than you would with a normal feed. So you've seen we're feeding the large Hotbin today. So if you're doing a mini, or you've got a mini, then half this. So this is the normal builder buckets that I use. So that's almost full up with thatch. So I'm just gonna literally just use half of this builder's bucket of the grass and moss today. So I'm gonna put a mixture of the moss and the grass in there. So just, that's going to be plenty. And then with that I'm going to add in, you know, I've probably got, time I chop it up, half a caddy's worth of waste there. So that's going to go in as well. And with this I'm going to put in a couple of handfuls of the normal grass, just because you've got, that's going to give us nice heat from that as well. So that takes us up to about a quarter of a bucket worth, and the rest I'm going to fill up with the bulking agent. And I've also got a caddy's worth of shredded paper. Let's go to the Hotbin and give it a good feed. So try to make sure everything gets stirred in, so you're not leaving like big clumps like that will just mat together and then prevent the airflow from going in. We've got plenty of bulking agent in there, so just give it a good stir around. You don't have to do it in the bin, you can do it in a separate container if you want, if you find that's easier. But make sure everything gets nice and stirred around so that bulking agent is all spread right throughout that thatch. Oh, I just kicked the bucket. Can see some steam's already coming out from the heat we've got. I'm going to give it a nice stir down to the bottom as well, just to make sure we give this a nice good stir up. And I'll probably give it a couple of days, and then I'll do exactly the same with the rest of the stuff until I've used it all up. But I won't, you know, I'll make sure it is breaking down before I put the next stuff in, and it's still nice and hot. I know Kate commented and said she wanted me to think of an idea for a longer raking stick, and I'm sorry Kate, I still haven't come up with an idea for that yet, but I am thinking. So that's nicely mixed in together now, and I'll probably come out tomorrow and just double check, you know, give that a little stir around again, make sure it's still hot composting and it's doing well. But the beauty of having this right by the house is you can keep an eye on it all the time.
Well, I have an idea for the stick.
Yeah.
You use your snooker cue, and then you've got two passions combined together.
Yeah, I'm not going to put a snooker cue in there.
Long enough.
Okay, so you can see the temperature's going up straight away into the green. I know it needs a clean, I'll do that for the next video.
You always say that.
But yeah, nice and warm in there, so I'll shut the lid and, like I say, give it a couple of days and then we'll give it another feed with what we've got remaining. I've only put a little bit of thatch and grass into the Hotbin this time, and that is the one big problem with the Hotbin, is you can only put small amounts in with each feed every other day, so it's difficult to get rid of all your grass and thatch in one go, so you do have to store it. So if you have got a massive lawn, it's probably worth you looking at another avenue of how you manage your grass, so probably putting it into a cold compost bin and just letting it break down on its own over, you know, the year. But if you have got a small garden and you have only just got a Hotbin, this will work really well. It just means you're going to have to feed it and keep on top of it for, you know, probably a week or two to get rid of all this. If the king is watching, I hope he's already subscribed, and if he wants me to come down to Buckingham Palace and give him a little demonstration on how to use the Hotbin, he's more than welcome to email me. Also, I've got a little bonus for you. Mrs. B came up with a really great idea for stuff we're doing in the garden. As it was so dry last year, we've sort of changed a few things around in the garden. We've replanted stuff over winter, and she's going to just quickly show you what idea she came up with, so we can keep an eye on what sort of plants we've got where.
First of all, apologies for the sound of my voice. I'm just recovering from an infection, but actually we never rehearse these videos ever, so I didn't know I'm gonna perform today.
This year we've decided, with the heat wave we've had last summer and, you know, just lack of rain, we thought we'd try a few new things out in the garden, and we decided we wanted to get rid of a lot of the pots that we had around because it just took so much water. And so with the pots, we've decided to plant a lot of those into the actual garden. So what happened was, all that stuff got planted last year, and then this year we've bought a few new flowers and plants from various places, and when Mrs. B came to planting them, we started to get a little bit confused as into what we had where and what we were putting in there, what had been there previous years. We had some bulbs coming up in some places, so Mrs. B came up with this real easy but ingenious idea for us to sort of keep track on what we've got where, so it's not just for like spring, but also when it comes to planting new stuff during the year, we know what we've got and what sort of colours are going to go with everything as well. So I'll let her show you what she did and how it works.
Okay, so they're just some simple labels. I wanted to use up what we got, so when you've got plants, they are labeled with plastic. It's actually not cardboard, it's like plastic. So I thought I'm just going to use this up with the sticks that I got on sale 2 years ago or so. I got the double-sided tape. That's all I bought actually, this is a new thing. So I cut them up with the names and a bit of the label, stuck with the double-sided tape, and that's it, done. So this is how they look now. I haven't done this one yet, and there's the little one for like the tiny rockery space. Yeah, I think they look quite alright.
Yeah, and plus a bonus is they're completely waterproof, so
Yeah.
when it rains they don't get damaged. Like sometimes if you write on the sticks, when it rains it starts to all sort of wear out and that, so this way we can actually see what colours are coming up and exactly what the plant is going to look like, and if we need to know what the name is we can refer to the internet on how to look after it. So really great idea, so well done. I won't kiss her, She's still got loads of bugs in her. I hope this video has helped you out. If you are new to hot composting, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our videos, and there is plenty of information on our channel that you can see how I manage my compost bin. It may not always be the best way, but it seems to work for me. And if you have got any comments, please leave them in the comments and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. But for now, I've got to carry on with the lawn, and I've got these real cheap aerators from some place. But yeah, I've got to aerate the lawn now before I put some new seed down. So happy composting and enjoy.
How did you not do the straps? You haven't done the straps. You haven't done the back straps, you Wally.
Well, yeah, but they don't. Okay, that's enough of that. See you next time.